All right, how you guys doing? My name is Bill. Welcome back to my shop. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over a little bit of node editing, a little bit of design and process in lightburn. I'm going to show you this over here. This is what I'll be doing tonight. So if you want to see something like this, this is what I'm going to do. It's a Valentine's Day gnome. Valentine's Day is just about here. We see it's got little legs that are ropes and little feet, little boots at the bottom. So that's what I'm going to be creating today. I used Gemini to give me the gnome. But I got the inspiration off of Etsy, and I saw a file on there people were trying to sell, and I said I really like that, and I can do something like that. So I figured today would be a good day to kind of go over that process of it. There's nobody in the house right now, so hopefully you guys will start filling in here. I'll just kind of waste a little bit of time here and see if we can get anybody else in here. But that's going to be the process of what it is, going through Lightburn. I'm not going to go into Gemini and show you that part of it. Um, but I'll show you what I brought into Lightburn from the Gemini, and just going on Etsy. You just go on Etsy and you figure something that you like, and you just bring it in. Just kind of copy that, bring it in, so you have that as like kind of a little template of what you can do. I am going to share my screen so that we'll be able to use that for the Lightburn process of it, and you'll be able to see the things in Lightburn, kind of programs on what you can do with Lightburn, and go over that kind of stuff. So I don't know on a Monday how many people's going to come in here. Probably not a whole lot, but probably just we have one right now. So we'll just wait a couple more minutes here to kind of see what happens. But this will just be a little, some of the node editing, a little bit of kind of a quick video, a live video. Shouldn't take too awfully long. But like I said, this right here is what we'll actually be working on. So once again, that's it. You see, you got the gnome with the legs and the booties that hang off the bottom. I kind of like that. I like gnomes. Gnomes are kind of a neat thing. They're kind of guardians and protectors and things. So I kind of like doing gnomes. Gnomes are pretty cool. But this process applies to anything that you do. It's not just oh, this is gnomes, let me get off it. It applies to anything that you're going to do. So if you're doing any kind of project in Lightburn, you're going to use these tools that we're going to go over tonight and use tonight to be able to create and change things up on your image that you get from either Chat GPT, or if you're going through Gemini, something like that, you'll be able to use those things. So, but I'm going to go ahead and hopefully some people are going to jump in here. But right now it's just kind of dead. So we'll go ahead and get started. But if you have any questions or whatever, just drop the comments down below here, and we'll be able to kind of go over those as well too. So I'll keep coming back, looking, seeing if we have anybody and checking questions out. But we'll see what we have, see what we get tonight. All right, so in Lightburn, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this right here. This is the file actually right here, so you'll be able to see the file and kind of see what I'm looking at. This is the image I got on Etsy, kind of a little basic one there, but this one here has like little risers off the bottom bed. That's how I made the one that I have up here. Or you can do them where they're just flat up on the stand. So that's, either one is fine. And you're just going to measure your ropes so you know how big of a hole you want to be able to have it engraved or cut out of it. And we're just going to use this as just like an inspiration type thing. I like the way it sits on the shelf and the legs dangle down. I really like. I thought that was kind of neat. But this is the file. What it's going to be when it's finally done. That's the one I showed you. It is 2 layers, so you have the beard, the mustache, and nose. This green is just a score, just so you know that you can where you're going to glue it at. That's all that's for, and it is a little bit smaller than what the red cutout is over here. If you look at that and you put that on there, let's select this one, hit Control, select this one, and then let's center that. You'll see the red is just a little bit bigger. And that's just the green is only so I know where I'm going to glue that up at. So let's get that red and get it back where it was. And right over there. Okay. Same thing with the mustache. Same thing with the beard. Same thing with the hat. It's all just a little bit bigger over here than what it is. I just offsetted these and made them just a little bit smaller, just to try to make it so that you know where to glue it, but you don't see the lines when you're actually gluing the process together. So let's go ahead and get started here, and let's take a look at what we have. When I went on Gemini, this is what I actually had Gemini. I asked it, give me a Valentine's Day gnome, and this is what it gave me. So I don't want to stand in. As you can see, this one's standing. I actually want it to be, sitting down. So we're going to actually cut off most of this bottom part right here, move the beard up a little bit, get rid of the hands, because I want the hands to actually be over here holding the I love you sign. And we're going to do some note edit up on top here to try to get those hearts the way we want them. So that's not much of a big deal or big process of doing it. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click this right now. And I'm going to duplicate that so I have that in case I mess up and I need to come back. So I'm just going to put that one right there. Then I'm going to left click it, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to come down here and do trace image. And in trace image, you see it's going to do a really good job about putting all these purple lines through there of actually outlining this image. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. And you can see you have most of it looking the way it looked on there. Some of these things here, like these pieces here, we're going to get rid of those pieces there. And we're going to do a little bit of different stuff on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to ungroup all this image. So let's ungroup it. And then we're going to select probably from right here, left click from right here and come down to the bottom of that beard. Then we're going to right click and we're going to delete that. Nope, too far. Hold on. Let me go back. Just go. We'll do the mustache first up on top. So it's going to get rid of all that. We don't want it to do this outer line. So let's hit Control and deselect that line. And then we're going to right click and then we're going to go ahead and hit delete. And do the same thing over here. We're just going to left click, drag it across. And we have that. All those, the actual mustache itself is good. It's not incorporated with, so we're going to right click and we're going to delete that as well too. I don't need this piece right here, so we're going to right click, left click, and then right click and then delete that as well. And we don't need these pieces right here, so we're just going to go from right to left, selecting all those, and then just go ahead and delete those. Now we're going to do the same thing with the beard down here. So let's go ahead and go from left to right, and let's go ahead and get all that beard. I want all these things. I don't want them in there, so we're just going to go ahead and delete them out. And we're going to right click and delete. Hey Ed, what's up? How you doing? Kind of a quiet night tonight. It's just two in here. I'm just going over. Let me show you real quick what I'm doing. Give me 1 second. Let me swap cameras. And I'll show you what I'm working on tonight. Now, this applies to anything that you would do, but this is just what I was doing. It's a Valentine's Day gnome. And like I said, yeah, it's a gnome, but it could be anything that you'd want to do. The principle of what I'm doing here tonight applies to any of this stuff. But that's what I'll be making today. I kind of like it because the legs are like strings, and it hangs on a shelf or sits on a shelf, and the legs just kind of dangle over. So I kind of like that. But like I said, this is going to be just a process of what you can do in lightburn. It doesn't have to be a gnome what you're working on. It could be anything, but you'll be able to use these concepts in lightburn as well. So, but yeah, it's just me and you right now. It looks like maybe one other person in here. I can't really tell, but hopefully some more people jump in and you guys can have some conversation and ask some questions, and maybe we can get this going good. So we're going to jump back into lightburn, and let's follow through here. We got Maria now. Hey, Maria, how you doing? Let's jump back into lightburn here now, and let's get started on lightburn. Back into lightburn. All right, so we're working on getting rid of all these anomalies that I don't want to have in here. So that's the process I'm doing. I get rid of all the beard, all the mustache and beard, the wrinkles or creases or whatever you want to call it, because I wanted it clean. I didn't want all that stuff on there. Just watching the ice melt. Yeah. We didn't get much here in North Carolina on the East Coast. We got a little bit of ice, but it really wasn't bad at all for us. So I was real happy about that. Thank God we didn't, because I didn't want any of that stuff. And I'll kind of keep coming back over and looking at this here, so I can try to engage you guys a little bit as well too. But with the beard, I don't want all these pieces coming down. That's just the way that Gemini had it, and when I traced it out, it kind of brought that up. So it's things that we're going to be able to get rid of, fairly easy, and we're going to use node editing for that. So we'll start up here with the mustache first. So we're going to select the mustache. Then we're going to go over here to the node editing right here. And we're just going to select from left to right and hit the D key to delete those. All right, that's good. We got rid of that one. Let's get rid of this one here as well too. We don't need that one there. Let's pull this one up just a little bit. Give us a little more space there. And we'll leave this one here. I think that's fine there, but let's get rid of this long one here. So we're going to delete that and delete that. That'll be a nice little cut right there as well. You got mostly sleet. Yeah, we had a little bit of sleet last night, I guess it was. But it was mostly just like a real light drizzle that it was cold enough that it kind of froze a little bit. The van was frozen, but other than that, it really wasn't a whole lot. Thank God. You see some of the parts of the country, they got hammered. All right, so that mustache is done. And we're going to come over to this one over here. And let's get rid of this long one right here. We'll get rid of that guy there. So hit the D key on your keyboard to delete that. Let's take a look and see. I think that's probably all we need to get rid of on that one. That looks good here. Now let's go ahead and select this one. Come back over to node editing. I don't want any of these coming down. So let's, from left to right, D on your keyboard, D on your keyboard. Do the same thing right here. Let's get rid of that one, D on your keyboard. We don't need that one. We can get rid of that, make that straight across. And let's come down here and get rid of all those. This is kind of rinse and repeat stuff, but I'm just going from left to right instead of right to left. Right to left will actually delete everything that it touches. Left to right will just get rid of the pieces that it actually encompasses the whole thing. So that's why I kind of want that instead. So I'm going to go from left to right. All right, let's get rid of these here. Nope, that's too far. Come over here. Let's get rid of those. And let's do the same right here. Let's get rid of these up here. I want that to go straight across as well. Get rid of that one. And let's get rid of this one here too. Get rid of that one and get rid of that one there. Yeah, Hobo is really good with node editing. It's a real important thing. Node editing is real important. There's a lot of stuff you can really correct and fix with the node editing. Hey, Kathy, what's happening? How's New York doing? All right, I want to get rid of this one down here too, that long scraggly thing. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And let's get rid of just one of these. That'll clean that up. Bring that down here and just straighten that little tangent arm out. All right, and we'll get rid of this one here as well too. So we'll delete that one. Let's get rid of this one here. All the same rinse and repeat is pretty much all I'm doing. So once we get it cleaned up to what we want, we can go ahead and move on to the next part. Cold in New York. I know it is. I know it is. It's cold in the Carolinas. All right, so let's work on the hearts up here. We're going to work on these hearts and try to get rid of these hearts because I don't want these things to be like this. I want to actually get rid of those and put my own hearts in there. That'll be more, but look much more better. Struggle with the editing. Yeah, the node editing is a pain. You just got to get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy, and you do get into that. It just takes a little bit of time. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this inner part one here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of these hearts. You come over here to node editing right here. You got a node right here. We're going to hit select it and hit B for break. That's going to get rid of that node. That it's going to break that node apart. Come up here to this one here, select on that and hit B for break. And that's the one we want to bring down. We're just going to connect these two together. When you get the bullseye, you know they're joined and they turn like that green color. And if you move it, they both move. So then you know that it's good to go. And we'll come up here to this one, over here to this one, hit the same thing, B for break. Bring that up here. There's not a node here, so we're going to insert a node. So we're going to hit I for insert a node, and we're going to hit B for break, and we're going to break that one, move that out of the way, and pull this one down and get the bullseye, connect those two together. And let's just move that out of the way here. Yep, okay, so we're good with that. Let's come over to this one here. Select it, B for break. Same thing down here, B for break. And then select and join those two together. And I think that's it for those. It is. So now all our hearts are all separate from this inner piece that we're going to use for the second layer of the hat. So with that all set, we can go ahead and click off it, select both of those, holding control, select both of those, select both of those, select both of those. Just keep going through, holding control, and right click now, and then delete those. You can get rid of those. You don't need them in there. And we're going to go ahead and bring our own hearts in and just add those in there, because the hearts I have are just about perfect shape. So we're gonna pull those in there. And let's go ahead and click this one here. Now let me delete that one. I'll do the other one. This one here. Now, of course, that's way too big, so we're gonna have to make sure we shrink that down. Let's go a little bit more. I think that'll be a good size right there. Now we're just hit Control D to duplicate it. Bring that over here. Control D, duplicate it, and just put a couple of these hearts in place of all this here. We probably should have went a little bit smaller with that. Yeah, I probably should have went a little bit smaller. So let's go ahead and get rid of all these. Let's just make them all a little bit smaller. It's easier just to start over with it than what it is to try to change each one of those. All right, Control D, duplicate. Same thing. Just keep doing Control D, duplicating it till we can get them up to what we have. And there we have it. All right. What's the temperature up in New York right now, Kath? And we're going to angle these just a little bit so they look a little, not the same coming down. Yeah, I watched a lot of Hobo's stuff, Ed, and he does a lot of really good node editing. He's really good with that node editing. He's really good with a lot of his stuff. He's a really, really good designer. He creates a lot of his stuff, and the stuff he does is pretty intricate and really, really nice work. He does real good work. All right, so that's those. This is the beard mustache. We got to get rid of the arms because I don't want to have the arms coming down. If you take a look at what I'm going to show you it again. If you look at it, this is what we're making if you're just coming in. But if you look at it coming down, I don't have the arms coming down with the hands. I have it where it comes down, and then it kind of curves underneath it where it looks like the hands are right on the outside holding the sign that goes across the middle. So that's what I need to try to do, get rid of the fingers, the hands down here, and try to get that to where we can get that to look from what this is to look like its elbows coming down. All right. Let me come back in here and take a look at what we got. I need to come over here and put a little star so I know where I left off at from chatting with you guys. So I'm kind of doing this, and I'm looking at the other screen to kind of answer questions as we go. Got about an inch of ice, freezing rain. We didn't even get, just the grass got kind of covered here. It wasn't even, it was just like a layer of just where the rain kind of froze on the ground. But, it wasn't hardly anything here. Well, like I was saying, Hobo, he's real good with his node editing. He's a real good content creator anyway. He's real good with lightburn and figuring stuff out with lightburn and all that. So he's definitely going to watch through with that. I have a lot of videos diving into node editing as well too. Some of the stuff I learned from a Hobo as well. You know, and we all kind of watch. I don't know how many people watch mine, but I watch a lot of different creators on that. That's how you kind of learn the stuff. But yeah, Hobo is really good at stuff. I appreciate that, Kathy. Thank you. Yeah, that's the new thing I was working on. I got the I got the pattern off of Gemini AI, but I got the inspiration for it. I got off of Etsy. I was just going through Etsy and I saw that because I really like how the legs are dangling with the ropes. I really like that. I think that's kind of neat. So that's kind of why I did that version of it. I just thought that was kind of neat. Well, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump back in, and we'll keep right on going along. All right, so pretty much we got all this top part done. We just have to work on the arms and then the legs to be able to get it to sit. We got to work on the beard a little bit as well too, because we need to be able to get that beard a little bit shorter because it's going to be too long to have it sitting on that on like the shelf. So you definitely have to get that beard a little bit lower, otherwise it won't look as it'll kind of look a little funny looking. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of these parts right here. We don't need those, so we're gonna delete those. Delete that one. We don't need that. We don't need this one. Hit control. We don't need this one. Those are all extras that we don't need. We can get rid of all those. Minus the outer primer. We do not want to select that one. Let's get rid of that. We'll just get rid of all these now so we don't have to worry about trying to get rid of them later. And we're going to right click and we're going to go ahead and delete that. All right. So we can also get rid of this piece here. We are not going to need this. So we can get rid of that. Right click and go to delete and get rid of that. But we're going to want to have our arms come down because this was hands. But we want to have it come down like it's an arm and then the elbows coming in holding the sign. So what I do, try to make things a little bit easier. I always use these little tool paths here. Those things are really they're awesome. They work real well. Click on that and put that on top of this one here on this where the hand was coming down. And you can see it's real close to the one over here, so we're not even going to mess with that too much. And then we know that this is where our hands are going to have to be, or the arms coming down where the elbows would be to be able to come and hold that sign. So we know that's where that's going to have to be at. And node editing is how we're going to get this part achieved now as well too. Love using Gemini. It's really, I love Gemini. A lot of people, other ones use ChatGPT, but Gemini does real well. And everything with Gemini is it's not copyright, so you can use anything that's on there, anything that it creates for you. All right, so we're gonna have the arm come down, the shoulder, and then come down here, and it's gonna kind of curve over this way a little bit, but that's gonna be way too much right there. So let's hit the node editing to get rid of these nodes. And we can start by getting rid of these right here. So we're just going to hit D on the keyboard to delete those. That's kind of a little bit too far out, so I want to bring that in a little bit. So let's just bring that in a little bit to where it's not quite so elbow sticking out so far. And I'm going to insert a node right here. So I'm going to hit I on your keyboard to insert a node right there. That's going to put that node right there. And then I'm going to take this one and just bring it up. And I'm on where this line is, I'm going to hit L on the keyboard. That's going to create that to be a line. I'm going to bring this node right on top of that toolpath. And let's see. Let's go ahead and give this node right here. So we're going to hit D on your keyboard to delete that. And I'm going to put L for line on that one as well, too. That's going to make that straight across. And I'm going to just move that one up onto that toolpath so that that's straight across. Now, that doesn't quite look like what I'm looking for down here, where it comes down like angles and curves down, like that's the arm coming, holding the sign, because we're kind of a little bit flat right here. So the way you can get that is just hover over this node right here and hit S on your keyboard. And that's going to smooth that out. It's going to make it a little bit round. It's going to make it rounder. Johnny King, there he is. How you been, Johnny? I was wondering if you're going to show up here tonight. I ain't seen you in a minute. I know we were texting a little bit ago, but I'm glad you made it tonight, Johnny. Thank you. I appreciate that. How'd you guys make out with the snow and the ice out there? And I'll keep coming back and checking everything here too. Cold, yes it is. It's cold here on the Carolina coastline. All right, so I'm going to get this one here and try to move it over just a little bit, just to make that a little bit more rounder coming down. And I think that looks good right there. So we can go over to here, and we got to do the same thing on this part over here. So we're going to go ahead and delete all this. So hit D on your keyboard, and we got to go ahead and get the same kind of look. We're not going to be able to get the same thing unless I cut this all out and mirrored it and joined it all together. I'm not worrying about that. It doesn't need to be that perfect. You hear all the time, yeah, I know. I appreciate you, Johnny. I surely do. Like you said, when you do come this way or somewhat this way, you definitely have to let me know. It'd be nice to meet up. Let's see. Not much, about a half an inch of snow and an eighth inch of ice in Charlotte. Yeah, we didn't even get hard. We got absolutely, it was just a little bit of ice yesterday morning, and that was it. All right, let's go ahead and let's pull this one up here. And let's pull this one up here on the line. Try to keep everything straight across so you know you have it there. And then we're going to delete this one, going from left to right. And let's see. I want to make this S for smooth. I don't think that's going to do what I'm looking for. I might need to make, no, that's moving it good. That looks pretty good. That looks somewhat close to over there, but I think I want to move these in just a little bit. I think they're just a little bit too far out. So let's move those in a little bit and then click this one and just move it out a little bit and see if we can get that just a little bit rounder. You're not really going to notice this stuff when you're doing it, but if you're real anal with the stuff, then you're going to want to. But honestly, people aren't really going to notice a lot of that stuff. So you just make it what looks good eyeball for something like this, and it's going to come out fine. Now that kind of comes down. It looks like arms to me. What do you guys think? That looks kind of like arms coming down. Maybe this should have been a little more rounded in here, but because if you look down here at the one I actually did, it kind of comes down and then around. So that might be too much right in here. Might need to come in this way a little bit more. Cut off this corner. Let's try to cut off that corner and see what we have. Let's node edit it. Before I do that, let me go ahead and pull this down so I have that tool path down again. We'll click this, back in our node edit in, and maybe bring this in a little bit more. Let's see. Let's get rid of this one. Let's hit D, see what that does. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Let's get rid of that one there. And let's just kind of drag this one out a little bit. I think that, yeah, that looks a little bit, maybe a little bit better for that. Node editing is just something you got to keep on messing with. There is no right or wrong with them. You got to just keep on messing with it. The more you mess with it, the better you will get with them and the better your product will look. What's up, Dylan? Welcome to the house tonight, Dylan. Welcome. And we'll do the same thing over here. I think that's still a little bit too much. Let's try to pull that in just a little bit more. Pull that in just a little bit. I'm just trying to get this eyeball right, looking a little bit better. But, you know, you can spend hours, which I do, node editing just to get your stuff to look, you know, just the way you want to have it. That looks much better there than what this looks more. Yeah, I like that better. That looks a whole lot better. So let's go ahead and drag this one and move all these in just a little bit in as well, too. And I think drag this one out just a little bit. And let's get rid of this one. We can drop that one down below here. I think that looks a lot better. Click on that node there and hit S for smooth. That's going to make that a lot smoother, make it more rounder and all that. We are doing this. Let me show you again real quick. This is what we're making tonight. Little Valentine's Day gnome. Little legs or ropes. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. But that's what we're designing right now. That's what we're doing the lightburn right now. I think that looks a whole lot better right there. If you take a look at that, that looks like that would be kind of hands coming in and arms coming in and your hands. I think that'll look real nice. I like that. It's gonna look a lot like what this one is here. It comes down, and then your hands are right there holding the sign that's going to be coming across. Now, we have to get rid of this beard. The beard is a little bit too long. So I think the easiest way for me that I was able to get it was go back into my node editing again. And then I'm just going to select all this top part right here. And I want to move all this top part up to get to the spot where my legs will be kind of dangling over the side. I think that would be it right there. So, oh, you ain't looking at it. Hold on, let me go back. Ain't nobody telling me. Come on, guys. All right, let me click back over here. Back in the lightburn. All right, so there we go. We're back to what we had. This is the arms now. What we have, I think they look a little bit better. They look more like arms coming down and around, like they're holding the sign. And the beard is what we're working on now. So I needed to move the beard up a little bit because the beard, if I was to have this is where you would be sitting at, the beard would be hanging down low. You wouldn't want that. So I want to move the beard up a little bit. So I just went ahead and I did my node editing again, same thing. And we're just going to move that beard up to where it's over top of where it will be sitting right across here, because that's going to be a flat line going right on across there. This one didn't move, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and get that one to move up with it now. Yeah, we'll just move that one up. And we'll put that one right about there. I don't know where it was, but that'll be fine like that. All right, so we got the beard up above where that line is, because that's going to be where we're going to be sitting at. That'll be the part where the butt's sitting at. So we're good with the beard. We just have to make sure that we don't have anything touching up here, that it didn't really mess with any of that. And it actually looks really, really good. I think that's fine. We can actually probably drop this one down just a little bit, so it wasn't so close up there. And maybe the same with this one here. We could probably drop this one down just a little bit, so that looks a little bit better. And I think all the rest of that looks real good. What do you guys think? Get rid of the nose, you'll see it a little bit better. That's going to be the beard. All right. So all we have to do now, we just need to go ahead and do some node editing here to be able to get rid of this part going across. And let me get rid of that over here. We don't need to keep seeing that's cute thing, even though I know it is. Comments. Let me get rid of that quick. Click on this. Comments. And let's click that off. While I'm in here, I might as well go over a couple little things. Let's see what we got. Anybody got any conversation going on? Talked about the snow. We ain't getting not a drop of snow here, Johnny. We got no snow. Like I said, very little bit of ice. The van was iced up, but that was it. And that's what we're doing, Bill. I'm just making a sign. I figure I'd come in here for a little bit. It's been a few days, about a week almost since I've been live. So I figure I'd come in here and we'll do a quick live video and go over this little project. All right, stream is not starting soon anymore. So let's go ahead and get rid of that banner. We don't need that. But if you guys would, like Johnny King said, please give a like and subscribe. You see it going right across the bottom right here. That helps the channel out a lot. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. All right, so anybody, any other questions? Anything else you guys are thinking about? Next week's supposed to be worse. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't want worse. I like that. A couple weeks ago we were in the 70s. That I liked. This 30s and 20s. Mm-mm. Nope. Now we need to get back to that other weather. Calling for more. No, we don't need that. We don't. I mean, they're hitting down from Texas all over the place. East Coast Carolina didn't get hardly anything, thank God. But it was, we were lucky with it. We sure were. We were definitely lucky. All right, I'm gonna keep my eye on the comments, and I'll keep talking to you guys a little bit with that. We're gonna jump back into lightburn. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It too cold. Absolutely too cold. I can't imagine. I don't know. It's crazy. Global warming, they say. I don't know. I can't tell this week. All right, what do we got in here? We got actually 8 people in the house. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and jump back into Lightburn real quick, and let's go over a little bit more. There's not a whole lot with this, but what do we got here? Says call for snow along Carolina coast Saturday. No, we don't need it. We don't want it. No. Mm-mm. We definitely don't need it. I don't have a well, so I don't have to worry about having water. So we definitely don't need that. No, thank you. No. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of snow, but with the snow, you get cold. That cold comes, and that's just what I can't do. I install satellite internet, and I don't want to be up on someone's roof with snow on the roof, or it's cold out there, the wind's blowing hard. I don't need all that. Mm-mm. All right, back to Lightburn real quick. Like I said, I'll keep checking my phone for the comments coming in here, and I'll kind of respond a little bit with that as well too. I'm going to go ahead and put a star right here so I know that's where I was at. All right. So the beard is done, mustache is done, and nose is done. The hat is done. We're going to work on this lower part here where it's going to sit, and that's going to be done. Our arms are done. We're actually doing real good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click this tool path, and I'm going to change that tool path to red. I want that to be the same color. So you can do that easily by just selecting it and then hitting your color pattern down below. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if I want to. I might not want to. No, I don't, because I got all this other stuff, so I'm not going to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have lines all over the place. Let me go undo that. I'm just going to go ahead and select the outer perimeter of this sign, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the node editing. I'm just going to come across here and just hit D on your keyboard. Just getting rid of all these nodes. Now I put this line going across because I want to make sure that this base is flat and straight across. When you put that on the bottom base, when you have your slots and tabs and they go together on that bottom base, you do not want that to be crooked in any way. So you can see right now we're straight across that line, which is what we want. Now I'm going to select that toolpath. We don't need it anymore. And we're going to delete that toolpath out. We don't need that because now we actually have our base is flat going across. So if we take a look at putting a base on this, I thought when I was first looking at these things here, because this is what we're doing. This is the inspiration I got from Etsy, was this one and this one over here. The only difference really, besides Be Mine, he's holding it instead of the I Love You, which is what I chose to do, is this one here has like little tabs that come down and separate, elevated above the base, and this one over here is flat. So either way doesn't really matter, but it's whatever you want to see. The one I made does have these little tabs that has it separated from the bottom base, and it's just easy, as you can see here. There they are, but it's as easy to get rid of those just by node editing. You just get rid of them. So we're going to do our base. And, you know, when I was looking at this originally, I was thinking that it's going to be real hard to be top heavy or want to, you know, fall over, but it really isn't. I was surprised how it's not. So you don't really need to make your base that it's all going to sit on, you know, real big, because it's really not top heavy at all. So I don't know what I made on this one down here. I made it in inches, 5x2, and that was actually, it holds up real well. So we'll do the same thing, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to click the rectangle. You're going to click and hold it, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to left select the ellipse. And also, oh no, we don't. We want to actually do a rectangle. So you're going to do a rectangle, and you're going to make it whatever size you want to make it. I'm going to do the 5x2. So I'm going to go 5. And I'm going to unlock this aspect ratio lock because we do not want to change both of that again. Then I'm going to come down here and select this one and hit 2. And we're going to put that right under here. I need to get these guys out of my way. Let's put them over here. And you're going to see what all those are in a minute as well, too, once we get to that part. So we got our base, 5 inches long by 2 inches high. And I'm just going to put a radius on it. So we'll go back into millimeters. And since it's, I can probably do 5. Let's see what, let's click and see what it looks like. Yeah, it's way too small. So we got to go much bigger. So since it is, we'll leave it in inches. So it's 5. We can probably go, let's go 2. Let's see what 2 is going to look like. Let's click that and put 2. I'm just looking to get around way too much. All right, so undo. Let's make it 1 and 1. Yeah, that looks, if it's going to go, yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that'll work fine. That looks pretty good. Now I wanted to have a double base. I'm going to show you real quick on this. I wanted the base to be 2 layers. So as you can see, hopefully you can see it. It does have 2 layers. Reason is I didn't want it to have any holes in the bottom that you'll see where that is. So I want that bottom layer so it kind of hid the tabs underneath that. So I made 2 layers for that piece. And depending on like kind of how wide you want to make it, if you want it to be flat, that's fine. And I think this one I'm going to make it flat because this one I had it actually up off the surface like I showed you. But this one here, I'm going to make it flat down on it. And we're going to use probably, let's say, go back to millimeters. And I'll do a width of 10. And then the height of, I'm sorry, let me see, the width of 10 and the height of 3. Okay, I don't want that to be round, so let's go out of this. Undo one more time. Oh, I'm changing that thing. Oh, forgive me. Bring that out of the way. We're going to come over here. We're going to click on the box, the rectangle, and we're going to go ahead and make it, again, we're going to make our tab. So we just need 1 for now because we're going to just copy that and bring it over. Dogs got to go out. I understand that, Johnny. I know that's right. When they got to go, they got to go. And I'll probably put that somewhere right around here. Let's make that 3, the height of 3. And we'll make that, we can go 10, we can go 5. Let me see, with 10, that's probably good. Yeah, 10 will be fine. That'll work fine. Now the 10 width going across is just, it's just going to be, it's just going to be how much of that's going to go into that top base. The with the height of it, that's you really don't need. You'll see in a second because you're using 3mm plywood, so you got to make sure that you have what you need to have with that. So I lost my comments on my phone, but that's all right. I'll just keep going back. So you can go like 10 for the width, and then the height is going to be 3. That's how thick your base is going to be, because that's 3mm plywood. So you don't want to go any higher than that, otherwise you're going to have it where it stands off the bottom base. So if you want that to be level and flat with the top of that, then you got to keep that 3 high. And we're going to put that one there. We're going to hit Control D, duplicate it. Let's just slide that one over here. And we're going to go ahead and select both of those, holding Control. I just want to click this button right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to level it up and down. It's going to make sure it's level across, straight across, up and down. Now we're going to take both of those and we're going to group those. And now I'm going to select this outer box, holding Control. So now you see it, it's all selected, and the tabs are selected. And now what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that those are left and right aligned. So if you hit that one there, that's going to be left and right. You saw it shift just a little bit. You know, that is exactly in the middle of what you need. I'm going to select both of these two. I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate it, because that's what we need to have down on this base here. So since we're not, we're still going to use two pieces for the bottom base. And what we're doing is it's going to sit on top of this one, and then we're going to duplicate this one, and that's going to sit on top of that one, and you won't see those tabs sticking down through there. That I like. So let's select both of these, and let's see if it's going to go this way, and it did. So all I do is I just docked it straight up right here. So, and that just brought it straight on that line. Now, if I hit this, the two tabs, holding Control, selecting that, and I want to come down here to the Boolean Assistant. And let's see which one it's going to be. It's that one, sort of, but it didn't do it all. So let's go ahead and cancel out of that, because it didn't put this tab here for some reason. So I'm just going to go ahead and select these, and I'm just going to just pull them up over top. I'm still keeping the same height here of 3, but I went higher. So now this will work. So selecting those boxes, holding Control, select this one here now. And then we're going to go back to the Boolean Assistant. Nope. That's the one we want there. That's going to create our tabs. All right, undo, because it kind of froze up on me there. Go back in it again. It's Union A or B. That's the one we want. Then come down here and hit OK. Now that's going to sit in these slots down here. I want to make sure these slots are centered into this circle as well, or this oval. So I'm going to hit Control, selecting both of them, and I want to make sure that I bullseye that in the middle. You saw it shift. Now that is in the middle, so you know we're good to go. All right, so now when that comes down, it's going to sit right in there, and that's what you want. Now, when you're doing this is, let me ungroup those. Your tab is going to be the width of 10, so it's a width of 10 this way, and then it's going to be 3mm for the height of it. That's going to allow that to sit in. That's if your wood is 3mm. If you got 3mm plywood, it's probably more like 2.7, 2.8 for a friction tit. Forget that word. A friction fit is going to be probably more like 2.7 is going to be a good friction fit. So you're going to change these later when you go to put your cut this all out. You're going to change them all later. So all right, let's go ahead and let's pause right here. We're going to jump back into see if we got any questions out there. What we got kind of going on. All right, where did I leave off at? Up here. Yeah, earlier I looked. It said 2 inches Saturday and 5 to 7 Sunday with highs in the 20s. No, nope. Nope, y'all lying. Y'all lying. And Johnny says you can have it, Maria. Yeah, she lives a half mile from me. She can definitely have it, but if she has it, I have it, so she can't have it either. Nope. Usually I like it because I can be off work, but I've been off sick, so I'm scared. Yeah, you got to get that paycheck. That's for sure. You got to have that paycheck. I can pay you the way, not as much as people that have a job. Well, unfortunately, they definitely are not going to give you what you could get. It's it's horrible in this country for that. You know, I guess they feel you can't go out, you can't go do this, or you can't do that. Well, no, hell, we all need the money. So, uh, I mean, you got people out there on the system that don't have a job. Period. That never had a job, never worked, can work, but don't work, and they're getting anything they want. So yeah, it's definitely not fair in this country, for sure not. I might have to be right with that, but I like to shop way too much. You do. You love your Hobby Lobby. Yep. You got to work. Yeah, it's to me it's crazy. To me it's real crazy. It's real crazy. I mean, I don't mind working and working hard and doing what I have to do, but when I get other folks out there I see struggle or can't get nothing because they can't hold down a job or they have a hard time doing some of those things. It's and then you watch other people that do anything they want to do and never have to worry about a dime. I don't get it. I never get it. I hope they end up getting a little thing on that, but and the computer for my students tomorrow. UTS. Oh, really? Well, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, you can do computer stuff. I can't. I'm having a hard time with all this stuff, but you know how it is. But I appreciate you, Ed. Thanks. I appreciate you a lot. What do you say? I live in how? Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Pay it in and only get back about a fourth of what you put in. A fourth, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It goes through me, but it ain't nothing I can do about it. It's I don't know. It's tough out there. It's but you keep doing what you do. You do this other you do these lasers and things like that. So it keeps you going, keeps your mind going. That's about the best you can do. But yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Yep. I don't know. I mean, there ain't much you can do. You vote, you try to get the right people in there, but a lot of times they don't get to what you're looking for, what you need to have. But I just keep going back in my mind to these other folks that don't have a job but can work and just have everything. uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, every day you wake up, you're blessed. I'm blessed every day. I've had 2 heart attacks, so every day I wake up, I definitely feel blessed, and I'm it's just it's a great feeling, but you don't want to struggle either. We shouldn't have to struggle, not in this country. You know, you should do a little bit better for us, but not that it's all bad, but it could always be better. And then if it is better, we say, oh, it could be better, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna jump back into Lightburn and let's carry on a little bit more with it. And where's Lightburn? There we are. All right, so in Lightburn now, what do we have left? We got our tabs. These are going to be the ones like this one over here. They're going to sit flat on top of the base. They're not going to be the ones over here that stick up. If you want them to stick up, you would just have to extend them up a little bit higher. the height would have to be higher than the 3. You'd probably want to double it, or maybe go 9 up, and then you'll still have your 6 millimeters above that 3 millimeter. So you can always do it either way, but it's really not hard. Now what we're going to do with this now is we're going to just select the outer ring. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to pull that over to the side. What that's going to do is when it cuts this out, that's going to glue on top of this, and you're going to have your 2 pieces for your base, your 2 layers for your base, and then the top is going to sit right on top of that. So we don't have much left to go here. Our whole gnome is done. We have to work on the hands. We've got to work on the sign, and that's going to be it. That's going to be a wrap for the night. But we still got to put our holes for our string. I forget what I did for my string. Let me see down here, because I used a caliper to actually measure the string, and it was 4.3. That's what I put them down as, 4.367. So you would just want to make sure you come up here and measure your ropes, and then just put that in here. So you're not going to fight trying to put it through the holes, but you don't want too big that when you tie a knot behind it, you can't pull it tight. So hold your rectangle, come down to your ellipse, hold in shift. It's going to draw out a circle, and we're going to put that. We'll just make it 4.5. And we're going to hit our aspect ratio, lock that now. We're going to go ahead and just click that. It's going to make that a 4.5. All I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate that, and bring that across over here. And what you want to do now is just kind of figure where you want these legs to be at. That's probably out a little bit too far, so I might come in just a little bit to maybe right there. Bring this one in maybe a little bit to right there. And now I'm going to hold Control. And I want to select this one as well. And I want to now have it go up and down to make sure that it's up and down level, straight across. And I'm going to group those. And now what I want to do is hold Control, select the outer part of the gnome, and I'm going to go ahead and click this one right up here. And that's going to make it centered left and right. And you saw it just shift a little bit to the left. I'll zoom in so you can see that. It just shifted just a little bit. So now I know that is perfectly in the center of this gnome, or as close as you can get to that center mark. So that's going to be able to where you're going to be able to put your rope through it to be able to have your legs hanging down. And I think that's probably, the height is good off this bottom. I think that'll be fine. Now we got to make our hands. And these are my hands that I have. I got these hands off of another gnome that I had, but I'll show you how you can make them real quick. They're really not hard to make. And we're going to use the ellipse. And I'm just going to go ahead and just pull the ellipse down on an angle like this. Now I want to make sure when I'm doing this that I kind of have of what size I want it to be for what the hand would be. I don't want to start drawing it down and having it look like this. Then it's going to be way too big. So you want to have it oriented about the size of the hands you want to have on this. And I think that looks pretty good right there. So let's pull it off to the side. We're going to do another ellipse. And I'm going to, I'll come over on this side. It's just for me to be easier going from left over to right over here. And let's just go ahead and draw another ellipse, kind of angled the same kind of way. You want it more of an oval shape. And I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate that, bring that down to about here, Control D, duplicate that, and bring that one down to about here. Now, it still don't look like hands yet, but it's going to. And I'm watching the comments on my phone, so I don't see anything yet, so I'll come back in a few minutes. Now, I kind of want this probably to be just maybe a little bit smaller, right about there, and then I'm going to bring this one down to right about there. I think that'll be a good size, and I think that's a good roundness part of a hand or a good width part of a hand. And I want these to be a little bit closer together. Let's pull this one here up a little bit closer together. Let's just bring that down a little bit and bring this one up a little bit more. So I think that's going to be what we need right there. Now we're going to select both of these, the top one and then the palm part of the hand. And let's come down here and weld it together. Let's see if that's what I want. And that's going to be parts of what you're looking for with your hand. Now we're going to select those two, weld those together, select those two, and then weld those together. Now you got your hand. So as you can see, it looks pretty similar to what this one is here. You'll see it looks pretty similar to what you got right here. Only difference is this one here is angled a little bit. Maybe I went a little bit farther on these. And then these right here also have this kind of corner part right there. We want to get rid of that as well too. All right, let me go back here for a second here and got a question of what I'm doing. Going crazy. But what I'm doing is I'm making a Valentine's Day gnome. This is what I'm making right here, Jack. I'm making this right here. It's got a little string with the boots on the bottom. That's kind of what we're designing here tonight in Lightburn. So I'm just kind of going over the process of what I'm doing, how I got this. I went on Gemini to get it, brought it into Lightburn and went over some editing part and things like that. You're on the wrong account again. What account are you looking for? But that's what I'm doing. If you want to stick around, you're more than definitely stick around and kind of throw some ideas out there, kind of talk a little bit. Wait. Okay, so Jack in the shop, that was the wrong account. Gotcha. What's up, Jack? Yo, we almost missed it. Look at that thing. That's my other Valentine's Day. So that'd be my last Valentine's Day I'm going to work on. So we kind of have been just talking about the weather and things like that, and just kind of chit chatting here a little bit. So, and going over the process of what I was doing with this. And we'll go back into Lightburn and kind of finish this up here quick. And I'll keep an eye on the comments as well too. All right. Where are you at? There you are. All right. So that's kind of what the hand looks like. It's a little bit bigger on this one than what it is on that one. And if I bring that over here, that is definitely too big. So all you would just have to do is just shrink it down a little bit and you'll have your hand right there. So it's going to kind of hold it. So that's how I got the hand. I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate that. Come up here and hit this button right here. It's going to mirror it across. I'm just going to bring that across over to here. And I still think they're a little bit big, so I'm just going to shrink them down just a little bit more. If you're going to shrink one, you really want to get rid of the other one, and then just duplicate it and bring it across so you have the same size hands. And we're going to mirror that back across. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good right there. And the other part you would get rid of is maybe these little, where it kind of comes in at that point right there. You can get rid of those as well too. I'm not going to on this one, but you could. So that's your hands. The only thing we have left to do is really the boots. And I'm going to cheat on the boots. You just upgraded to 2.1. Yeah, buddy. I don't mind it. I mean, it does okay. There's some things I got to do once in a while. It gets hung up on it. But 2.1, yeah, you waited long enough. But I'm going to cheat on these boots a little bit. I could do it, but I'm just going to go ahead and cheat real quick just for purposes of this video. And I'm just going to just use the pencil tool and just keep going right around this boot. And it didn't do the pencil, did it? Let me see. Let me get this out of the way. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it was behind it. So there's an ugly boot, but that is it. And we're just going to smooth it out to make it look a little bit nicer like that. So we're going to do that in node editing right here. And I'm just going to come up here and I'm just going to hit S on your keyboard. Just go right around here and hit S. It's going to smooth all those nodes out so they're not jaggy. And they look nice and round going around it. That's all you're going to do. And there it is. That's the boot. So I cheated a little bit with the boot, but that's okay. I think it looks good. And let's bring the boot over here, kind of measure it with the hand. Boot's a little bit bigger than the hand. I think that'll be fine. We can bring that down below here. And that's just going to dangle down with the rope. So select all nodes in there. We'll do okay. Let me go back. Let me go back here. We got it all jagged. Let me go ahead and hit the nodes. Select them all. S. Yeah, it's not. You see, I have to still click over them, I guess, but that's a whole lot better than click and click. Yeah, it's better than where I hit one and do it, hit one and do it. Yeah, that was a little bit easier right there, Jack. I appreciate that. I was hoping that you can do select them all and then just hit S, and it would do all of them, but that's all right. That was a little bit easier than selecting each one S. Select it S. Yeah, that was a whole lot easier. All right. So there's our one boot. All we got to do is hit Control D, duplicate it, mirror that across, bring that over, and there's the other boot. Now we already got our holes up here, so we're going to select this one, and it did select the other one because they are grouped up here. And I'm just going to hit Control D, duplicate it. I'm just going to bring them down. It's going to be the way of this. Bring them down here. And let's just go ahead and I didn't do the smooth on that one, but that's all right. And select this one and put that in here. And there you have it. Yeah, I wish that did it. That would have been nice if it did that, Jack. That would have been real nice. But it still was easier than selecting each one and doing it. It still was a lot easier. I just had to go to each red one and just keep hitting S. That was still much easier, quicker. How long are we on here right now? An hour? Not too bad. So we'll go in here. I'll check out some comments, see if I missed anything, and see what all we got. Who all joined the party? What do we got? We got 10 in here now. All right, nice, beautiful. I like that. Where was I at before? Right here. Still, no one else hit that like button. I'll tell you, Johnny. I don't know what to say. One day I'll get there. One day I'll get there. Yeah, hit that like button. Absolutely, like, share, and subscribe, and all those other good things that all come with that. That'd be awesome. And oh yeah, we got just upgraded to 2.1. What do you think, Jack? You like it? You noticing any bugs with it? We got Jen and Fran. What's up, Jen and Fran? What's happening? You got to hit a little thumbs up button for the like. We lost a couple, but we still got 7. This is what Jack was saying. If you hit the select all the nodes and hit S, it does still do it. They just don't do all of them at once. You got to still go over each individual node, but it was much easier. Enjoying that, New York? Enjoying all that cold? Well, it's cold down here, so I can't say nothing either. But the only thing I have left to do on this is just going to be, let me go back in here and show for anybody who's coming in late. Again, this is what we're making. This right here, little Valentine's Day gnome. I don't know. I like gnomes. They're kind of neat little figures. They're protectors and all that good stuff. So we see it's got the legs that are ropes, and then it hooks to the little boots at the bottom. So I saw that on Etsy, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I figured we'd give that a try here tonight and see what we have. This one's already given away. My mom's liked it, so she already got it. I just gotta bring it back to her. All right, where we at here? What's up, Debbie? Debbie Pro. Where we at here? Can't find a like. It's just a little thumbs up. Depends on what you're on. But if you see all the comments, you might not be able to see. You can always do it later. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you'll see a thumbs up. You just go ahead and click that thumbs up. What do we got here? When you first get on there, yeah, it's the like. It's a thumb button. Yep. Have you never used any of the two? I know you haven't. You were still at the 1.7. So about 2.1. Yeah. Renewed Lightburn Pro for 30. I did too. I just had to do it. Oh man, what was it, about a couple of weeks ago? So I wanted to make sure I did it because I know that they upped that price on the Lightburn whenever you go to redo it. So I definitely want to make sure I did that before it ran out. Plus, they also give you an extra 2 months of it too, which I really like. So I was glad I did that as well too. For sure. Get that extra 2 months is a good thing. Yeah, my mother does like the gnomes. Mom likes the gnomes. She sure does. I make her all the gnomes I make on all my videos. They all go to her. Yeah, click that heart. Yeah, 2. I haven't noticed too many issues with any of the 2.0s. I mean, whenever you see something, it always seems to come back around and they kind of fix it. You got enough people out there using it that they'll get it fixed out for you, but it's really not bad. It's not too bad. What do we got? 10 in the house. That for me, that's a big number. That's a lot. That's a lot of butts in the seat. I like that. Yeah, 2.0 is not bad. It's really it's not too bad. It's not like it's like Milmage. You know, when they start doing stuff with Milmage, yeah, you notice a lot of stuff in Milmage, and they're still like working on that stuff constantly. So when they get some bugs, they fix something, you get bugs other spots. So, but Lightbird's been around for so long that you don't. It's not too bad once you do it. I haven't noticed it, but the stuff I do, I probably wouldn't notice it. I'm more of a chatter than whatever, but you know that's why I do this. Let's see. All right, so we're just going to work on the last part, and then we're going to sit here and talk for a little bit tonight. The last part is going to be doing the I, the heart, and the you. I love you. That's what's going to be the last part of it. And let's go ahead and. All right, here we go. So the last part is going to be the I love you, as you see right here. So you got the feet done. You got the bottom base done. Then you got the first part of the base is done. All of this guy's done. Only you have to do now is put what you want to have inside here. The I love you is what I thought was kind of neat. So that's what I worked on. So I went up here and I hit the A. And I put I. And uppercase right up here. You can change it to uppercase. But I didn't want it to be an I like that. I wanted it to be an I like this. So I'm sure there's a font that has it. Rather than go through all that stuff, I just went ahead and just made it myself. Selected that, hit Control D, duplicate it, period to set it this way, and put it right up on top. Then I just kind of made it a little bit skinnier. Hit Control D, duplicate it, slid that down here. Select these two, and I'm going to hit this button right here, and that's going to center both of those vertically. Horizontally, vertically, left and right, whatever it is. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. Select both of those, and we're going to center that left and right. All right, let me make sure that they are all centered left and right. There we go. We should have it now. Now select both of these two, and that one's left and right. It keeps moving one and the other. That's all right. It is what it is. It's close enough. You'll never see that little tiny bit. And then you're just going to select these two, weld it. Select these two, come over here and weld it. Where is it? Right there. So there's the eye. And I kind of wanted the eye to be somewhere where this hand is, about as big as what the hand is. So I just kind of made it a little bit bigger. And I kind of angled it just a little bit just to be able to have it kind of sit like it's being held by the hands. And then I came over here and I got my heart under my hearts, and I just double clicked this one that had a there it is right there. I did have two of my thoughts, so let me delete that one there and put that on a red layer. I wanted to have the inner heart and the outer heart, so I just wanted to have both of those together. And I brought that down to the size of what we're looking for. Probably right about there. Looks pretty okay. And I just angled that a little bit as well too. I think I angled it. No, I kept that one straight up and down. But I think I also made this inner part. Let me ungroup that. I think I made the inner part offset inwards a little bit more to make that a little bit thicker so it wasn't so delicate. Let's put 5, 2, not 5.5. And let's go ahead and do that. Delete the original. Yeah, that made that a little bit bigger so it wasn't so brittle. Didn't want to break so much. Hey, Johnny, I appreciate you coming in here, bud. I do appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one, my man. Be safe. So I select both of them, just get them to where they're just overlapping the eye. So that's something to be able to connect to. And then we're just going to come over here. We're just going to hit the A again, and we're going to put YOU. We're just going to put U. YOU. And I'm going to change that to, what did I use? Did I use Freestyle? No, I used this one here. Whatever the heck that one there is. That's the one I used. So you're not going to be able to get that to be able to cut out. And if you try to put a offset around all that, then it's gonna group it all. It'll put them all together, but it's not what I wanted. So what I did is I just selected it, and then I used the V space to get it. No, not V space, the H space to start bringing it together. And once that joined here, I'm still not joined here. So what I did is I just went ahead and I selected all this, and I wanted, with this the way it is, there's no nodes to it. It's one solid piece. So there is no nodes to this if you try to edit the nodes. So what you have to do is you select it all, you right click, and you want to come down here to convert to path. And that's going to make that into individual shapes. So that Y is its own. Now these two are the same because I had them welded together. So that is one group, but now we need to move the Y over to be able to connect to the O. So we're just going to go ahead and connect that. And we're going to bring that over just a little bit to the right, holding Shift and Control, just so they line up. Let me come over just one more, maybe right there. And now I'm going to select these two, and I want to go ahead and weld them together. Okay, now that welded that together, so now that is all one solid piece. So I need to also make this, it's nowhere near the end over here, so we got to make that much, much bigger. So let's go ahead and make that bigger, make it a little bit longer, a little bit wider. I don't want to go too crazy because it's got to look a little funny looking. And then I can make the heart a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, but not too much because you don't want that to be distorted too much. And let's just bring that over to here. And let's see, we can probably take this whole part and let's try to get this whole thing a little bit bigger. All right, I like that, where you're just about here, like the hand is touching that, and you're not quite over here. So let's just go ahead and bring that over here to where your hand is just about touching that. And it looks like it's actually, holding the sign, I love you. So that's what I did for that. But the other thing we got to do is we have to, let's probably turn this a little bit more and move that one over just so that connects both of these pieces as well too. So we're definitely connected up here, but not down here so well. So let's go ahead and just turn that a little bit. And let's bring that over just a little bit. I think that's too much. Make it a little bit bigger. And let's bring it down. Now I think we're actually touching pretty nice. I think that's going to look good right there. So we're going to select both of these, and we're just going to weld that together as well too. So now we have to weld the U to the heart. So let's go ahead and select both of those, and let's weld that together. And now that is one solid piece. So that's it. I think that's all we had to do. You can put I love you. You can put be mine. You can have a sign where he's actually holding a sign. You can put like this one over. He has be mine with a heart he's holding in his hand. You can put whatever you want with it, but it's kind of whatever you decide you want to do with it. But like I said, this is going to be a 2-piece thing. As you can see down here with this, I have red and green. The green is actually my score. That's just so I know where to be able to glue the stuff at for the other layer. And if you look at it, if I pull this one here and hold control and select that, and if I bullseye that in the middle of that, you'll see my cutout is a little bit bigger than what the score is. And that's just so I don't see the line. When I actually cut that and glue it on there, you won't see that line going around it. This mustache is a little bit big. This one is smaller than what the actual one you're going to glue on it. And the beard is a little bit smaller. The hat up on top is a little bit. It's just there just so you know where you got to be able to glue your stuff. So, and to be able to get those, all you're going to do is just select these guys. And you're going to hit Control D, duplicate it. And you're going to pull that over. There's your beard, your mustache, and your nose. And you're going to come up here. You're going to click this guy. And then all of your hearts. Control D, duplicate that. Pull that over here. And your hands, same thing with your hands. You're going to hit Control, right click, and duplicate that. And we're going to go ahead and pull those over to the side as well too. Now I'm going to change all of these. This is actually going to be cut out, so I don't have to worry about this piece here. That's cut out. I don't have to worry about that. Your hands are cut out. Don't have to worry about that. Your feet, they're all cut out. So you don't have to worry about those. You want to change these inside pieces now to a green or a blue, whatever color it is you want to use for it. And let's see up here. I'm going to use these guys I'm going to score them as well, just so I know when I put this over top, I'll know where to paint it at. Underneath that, I can paint red or whatever. I don't have to paint the whole entire hat. I can just got to paint where those hearts are cut out at. So we'll change that to the score. Change that one to score as well. And like I said, your hands, we're going to change that to score as well. And I think everything else is all good to go. So this is going to be one layer, and that's going to sit over top of this right here. So let me group these. And I'm going to sit these over top of this here. Now, if I do this the way it is, it's going to, you're going to see that line. More than likely, you're going to see the line of the cutout with the score. So you want to make these guys just a little bit smaller. And you want to offset them just a little tiny bit. So maybe like 0.2. And then hit delete original object and offset, delete original object. So that's going to make those just a little bit smaller. All right, let's do all of this. Offset, delete the original object. That made all those a little bit smaller. Hit Control, select this one. Hit Control, select, and you can hit Control and selected everything and did them all at once. That would have been fine too. Offset and delete the original. So now if you pull the hand in there, you'll see the hand is just a little bit smaller. Oh, I didn't want to center it like that, dummy. Okay, see, I'm selecting that. Let's try it one more time. There we go. And center that. Bullseye in the middle. It is not bullseye. Why is it selecting both of those? It sure is. Okay. Ungroup that. Select it. Select and bullseye it. And now you'll see that is going to be just a little bit smaller, the score, than what the actual cut is. So that's why you're going to do the score, just so you don't see those lines. This would be the file. Like I said, this is the inspiration that I got off of Etsy. This is the one I actually did kind of copied, but I got my actual, my gnome I actually got off of Gemini, so there is no copyright with it. But that's that. I'm gonna come back in here and I want to see what comments we got. Let's take a look and see what we got. And where was I at before? Let me see. I was somewhere right up here, right there. Yeah, there was Johnny taking off. I appreciate it. Kathy and Frank, I appreciate you guys stopping in. What do we have here? Inner line of the hat needs to be green. Yes, you're right. You are right. I forgot about that because I don't want to cut that out. That's right. So let's jump in there real quick. If it does this, it's actually going to cut this out and this out. So it's going to, yes. So that needs to be green on the green layer as well. That's just a score. And then you want to make sure, and if you look down here, my inner side of the hat is green. It is the score line. But then again, you want to make sure that you offset it just a little bit. And then you got that. It'll fit right in there and you won't even see it. So I appreciate that, Jack. Thank you. Because that's something that somebody would have definitely probably missed. So I appreciate that. All right. Did you guys see that? I don't even know if it clicked over. It might not even clicked over, did it? I didn't even notice if it clicked over. It probably didn't. I'm going to go back in there just to make sure that you did see what that was. And go back into lightburn. And this is what it was. It was red. So it was going to actually cut out both of these, which is not what you want. You want this inner part to be a green score line. And I know you're looking at it now. So just in case I didn't click that camera, I know we got you now. Now with that, you want to change that to the green or yellow or whatever color you use for your score. You want to just change it to that color. And then, like I said, you want to come over here to the offset, click that offset inwards, and then delete the original object. And then if you click that, it just made that a score line. So everything here is all going to be score. I need to just know where to paint these things, whatever color you're going to paint behind the hearts, and then your nose where you're going to be able to glue everything out. So, and we have a red here, which we don't need to have that. I think we already have both of our hands. We don't. So let's bring that over here. We got our hands back together now. So this is the actual project that I would have. This one up here was the one we were just working on tonight. But like I was saying, this is where I got the inspiration for. I just saw it. I said, yeah, let me do that. So, all right, let's come back over here and check comments. All right. I appreciate it, Jack. Thank you. Inner part hat needs to be green. Yes, sir. It's definitely got to be green. Otherwise, it's going to be whatever that was, maybe a 2 millimeter, just a cutout of that hat. So for sure, definitely had to be green. Kathy's still in the house. What do you guys think? That's my last project, Jack. I don't have any other Valentine's Day. It's enough. That's my last project. But there she is. There it is. And you see how lazy I am. I hate painting. The back is still brown. I never even painted the back and the bottom. Still brown. But that's it. That's the project. That's my last one. Then Grammy wants it back. Yeah, she does. No doubt. She didn't want to give it to me, so I was not doing another one. So I figured, heck with it. I'll just borrow that one and bring it back up. Got any of them in your local stores? No, I didn't. You don't see anything. Dollar General is the only place you might see something like this, but I don't remember seeing anything like this. I saw this on Etsy and I said, that was pretty cool. So that's why I decided to try to make this one. I had the only two strings I had for the legs were a real skinny string, or I had what I felt was going to be too thick of string. So that string is just way too thick for that little thing. If I would have made it bigger, I could have used that, but I went with the smaller anorexic looking strings. Oh, my. But yeah, that's what do you got here? I mean, in your local flower shops or anything? No, I don't. I don't see like I haven't seen anything like that around. I don't go to too many flower shops, but when I have been in those, I haven't seen any kind of gnomes like that. They really don't have a lot of that kind of stuff. We have a couple. I think in Edenton we only have, I believe it's just two flower shops, and I haven't seen any of that in any of those local shops or anything. So, and you could maybe bring something like that down to them. That could be a possibility, but I haven't seen anything like that. So, but gnomes, yeah, that would be really good for the garden section because they're all about um, protectors of gardens and lots of things. But gardens are vegetables and flowers. That's what they're protectors of. So for sure, take them some. Yeah, you're right. You're right because it's not hard to do, and you can make them many different sizes. I mean, you can have them. This is not very big. I don't. That is only about 8 millimeter, 8 inches tall with the base to that. So it's not real big, but yeah, you can definitely take something like that to them for sure. Let's get them sales in. Yeah. And I've tried to sell so much stuff around here. People just don't spend the money around here on that kind of stuff. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like that, use the 3 millimeter plywood. You can spray some stuff on it, keep it protected. Of course, it's an interior thing. You wouldn't want it for the outside, but you can spray some stuff on that to kind of weather seal it up a little bit. But I don't know. Like I said to you the one day, people just don't want to spend money. I don't get it. I'll probably put it on my Kofi site, but that's not growing yet. So that eventually I'll start to grow. But yeah, take it down to that little store down there, the little flower shop, plant shop. I know we have two of them in Edenton. I don't think we have any more than two of them. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of talking. I haven't been on in a week, so I got a drink. Keep my throat going. We got six in the house yet. I had quite a good turnout tonight. I think I was up to like 11 or 12. I think I saw. So for me, that's real good. I really like that. That's pretty good. I've been wanting to do this for a couple of days. It's been so cold and miserable. I mean, I got a heater that I'm using right now just to keep it somewhat warm in here, and it's really not bad in here. But oh man. So what do you guys think? I just had an idea about adding another layer to make the part in the picture frame or something like that. You mean like do an offset with it? And another layer to make the heart picture frame, something like that. Yeah, that's um definitely doable. I mean, just this was just a two layer, so I didn't want to go too crazy with it because, but having another layer on it, yeah, you could add more layers to it. You could actually have. Um, One thing I saw on Etsy I thought was kind of neat is they have like Velcro, like they'll make a single one of these, the back parts of it, and then they'll put Velcro on each one of the hats. Take the hat off, take the I love you part off, and you can add an Easter hat on it, like with Easter bunny ears. I was working on that earlier, like adding Easter bunny ears to this hat. I thought that was kind of neat. And then you can put down here Happy Easter with like it's holding a sign. Then you can have that on Velcro that can come off, and then when Christmas comes, you can put a Christmas hat on it, and Merry Christmas. Take that off and put that on it. Use one of these, but then have the different pieces that come off with Velcro, and every season comes up, you can add another one to it. I kind of thought that was kind of neat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Duplicate the heart to make it stand out. Let me see here. You mean like to duplicate the heart, just the heart part? And what would you do with to make it like if you duplicate it, what would you do with it then, Ed? Thumbs up from Deb. Yes. Yeah, it'll be down there tomorrow morning. Yeah, you can do the heart. You mean like duplicate it and then cut another layer out and actually glue that on top of that heart so it stands out farther? You mean something like that? Because that would add like a third layer to that, just that little spot right there. But that would kind of add it, make it look a little bit, stand out a little bit more of the heart. Because see, what I did is I painted the I and the U, I painted pink, and then the heart I made sure I painted red. But if you put that heart and you duplicate that and made it stand out farther, put another layer on that, then that would definitely stick out and stand out a little bit more. So that would make a third layer to that spot right there. Yeah, you can definitely do that as well too, for sure. Anytime you do, like, see my hands aren't flat on that. My hands are actually on an angle. I don't know if you can really see it. Let me change to this camera. You might see it a little bit better on this camera. If you look at the hands, if it clears up, it's a little blurry right this second for some reason. Come on, mama. But it's not really showing. But you see the hands are a little bit on an angle. They kind of like they're kind of like grabbing around it is what it kind of looks like. Like it's kind of holding like this on it. So I kind of thought that was kind of neat. Yeah, you can always add, let me see. We'll go back into Lightburn real quick. And let me pull that in there. What Ed is saying is if you take this heart, which would be kind of hard now because I have that already tied into that. But if I added another one in there, just as kind of like a reference with it, pull it down into this, try to get it to the same close size. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer to it. Actually, I'd do an offset on it, so I'd have to actually offset it again. Well, let's get it somewhat close to the size of what we need. And that's going to be hard. But something like this. And then if you take that and you cut that out, then you can actually glue that on top of this piece here. So that would actually stand out on top of that. It would actually be another layer on top of it. It would make that stand out more. So yeah, that absolutely could be done for sure. I like that. I definitely like that. You always try to wonder how can you get another layer on this without going crazy? Because some people are like, well, you get a lot of layers on it, or you start making things bigger and you got a lot of different layers. It's a lot more money then, but absolutely. Well, what time we got? How long we've been on? We've been on for an hour and 41. I'm probably going to wrap this one up, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in here. Like you see down below here, it says please like and subscribe. Share the video. That would be awesome. I don't know how many I got. I haven't noticed, so I don't know. I'll see after it's all done. But if I had 12, hopefully I got 12 likes and subscribes and all that. That'd be awesome. And share the video. You know how it all goes. But I think that's going to be it. I appreciate you guys. I'm want to try to make a night where I do I think like a Saturday or a Sunday, but like around 12 o'clock. I want to try to do something like consistently with that, and just add some more onto that, do all kind of stuff like that. But, try to get something a little bit more consistent and get out here and talk a little bit. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Ed and Frank and Kathy and Fran and Jen and Maria, Dylan. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. Just Johnny King, appreciate you. Debbie, appreciate you. I didn't think Jack was going to make it tonight, but I'm glad to see you made it in here. But I appreciate everybody coming in here. I don't know if it's Fran or Jen, or if it's Fran and Jen. I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. Everybody stay warm. To the next one. Maybe next one I'll be at around 20 people watching. That'd be awesome. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you all so much. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know if something else you guys want to see maybe come up. Give me a little idea of something I can do. And, kind of see what we have here. Brass coins. Yeah, you got all those good toys, Jack. You got all that good stuff. I got a laser and a CNC. That's what I got. But that's pretty cool, Jack. I appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But I appreciate you guys. Stay warm. And I don't want to hear nothing anyone talked about before. Oh, next week's going to be another round or worse. Nope, it's not. So it's going to be 70s next week. I promise you. All right, guys. Appreciate it. It'll be 70 in your house anyway. I appreciate you guys. You guys all have a great night, man. Thank you.